Wednesday, December 7th, and we got the good news that Aaron Judge will be returning to the Yankees on a 9-year, $360 million deal. So we're going to talk about it.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Wednesday, Yankee fans. Welcome to Locked On Yankees. It's a special live edition of Locked On Yankees because this deserved a live show. Aaron Judge is back. He's back after the roller coaster of emotions yesterday. He's back on a 9-year, $360 million deal. Unbelievable. First of all, welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Stacey Gotsoulias, and I'd like to thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen every day. We're free and available on all platforms. You can watch and subscribe to us on YouTube. We're doing this live on YouTube. Please leave a comment. Celebrate the Aaron Judge news with me. Also hit the thumbs up button to like our videos and the bell so you're notified as soon as the videos go live. So, how is everyone feeling this morning? I'm feeling good. I hope you're feeling good. This is the thing, and I joke about this all the time when I do my show. Some people aren't as online as I am. I'm pretty online. I'm usually on Twitter, and I sit there all day looking at Twitter if I'm not doing anything better than that. But sometimes I'm writing and I have Twitter off to the side. John Heyman tweeted yesterday that, well, first of all, he tweeted that Arson Judge appeared to be going to the Giants. And it became a very funny moment on Twitter because he spelled it Arson Judge. RotoWare already made a t-shirt about it, and people were panicking. Then the ball started rolling where other writers were saying that it appeared Judge would be heading to San Francisco. That's what the buzz was. And it was, I'll say it, I was scared last night. I legitimately was having anxiety last night, which is why there was no show last night and why we're doing this now. I've never felt like this, but I also have never covered baseball as much as I've covered baseball in the last few years doing this podcast. And it was a very strange feeling as someone who covers baseball, but someone who's also a fan, to think about Aaron Judge leaving the Yankees. And everything was pointing in that direction. Fans from other teams were making fun of Yankee fans for freaking out. Yankee fans were mouthing off against Brian Cashman. And it was just a crazy day yesterday. Then, about an hour ago, the news came across the wire, otherwise known as Twitter, that Judge is coming back on a 9-year, $360 million deal. And I know everyone's thinking to themselves, the back end of that deal is going to be scary. It will be, but who cares? Because the front end is probably going to be great. So it shouldn't matter that it's 9 years. It shouldn't matter that it's $360 million. It's not your $360 million. The Yankees did what they needed to do. They did what they needed to do. The other thing that was scary yesterday was there were the reports that came out that Judge was mad at the Yankees for leaking the contract info or the contract offer info when the season started. And that was a callback to Derek Jeter being angry with Cashman during his only free agency winter and how they released information about his contract negotiations. Not that there were much, because Jeter came out in an interview and said, I did the thing that you're not supposed to do, but I basically said, I'm staying here, so don't even worry about it. And they still released information. And, so there were feelings from some people that maybe the Yankees made Judge angry enough to want to go to the Giants. And then I thought about it. And a wave of calm came over me before I went to bed last night. Why would Aaron Judge leave the Yankees? I understand. The Giants are his hometown team. He grew up rooting for them. He liked Barry Bonds, and the hometown boy going home would be a really nice story. But so would the story of a guy wearing 99 having his number retired by the Yankees and coming back for Old Timers Day with the Yankees. I was thinking about that last night. Why would you leave that? And I know people are going to say the Yankees haven't won a World Series in 13 years. They've squandered a lot of Judge's prime years. Sure, it's still the Yankees. Right? Wouldn't you still want to play for the Yankees? And it's not the Yankees of the early 90s. It's not the Yankees of the CBS era. After all those years of winning, and then the Yankees did nothing until 76, 77, 78. I know they were swept in the ALCS in 76, but that led to 77 and 78. Why would he leave that? How many ceremonies has Judge seen? How many Old Timers Days has he seen? How many playoff games has he experienced at Yankee Stadium? The buzz of the crowd. And yes, I know Yankee fans were booing him during the playoffs, but he's the type of player that thrives on that kind of thing. Not that he wouldn't get that kind of thing with the Giants, but it's not the same. It's not the same. And maybe that's the obnoxious Yankee fan in me, but it's not the same. So the Yankees got their man. They shouldn't be done. This should not be the last move that they make by any means. They should make at least, by my estimation, at least 3 more deals during this offseason. But the one deal that needed to be done in order to get other deals done, we got it. Again, 9 years, $360 million. And a tweet came out that said the Padres were actually in on Judge. So it was the Yankees, the Padres, and the Giants. And obviously he chose the Yankees. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So in a second, more gloating about this because we have some gloating to do. And I'll tell you the reason why in a moment. But first, let's discuss the fact that you could have bet on this. There were lines at betonline.net, which is your number one source for sports betting info, stats, and news, plus an analysis. You can get the latest odds and trends for every professional and amateur league out there, from football to basketball to soccer and esports. They have it all at BetOnline. And the other day, I mentioned that the odds for Judge to go to the Giants were better than the odds of him going to the Yankees. So I hope you bet on the Yankees. BetOnline is always the fastest and easiest way to get your betting fix. So head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more. BetOnline, where the game starts. Thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen. For your next listen, check out the Locked On Sports Today podcast. The biggest stories of the day, plus instant reactions, big game recaps, and the take of the day. Available on the Odyssey app, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm assuming Locked On Sports Today will be talking about Aaron Judge, because everyone will be talking about Aaron Judge. So let's discuss more about yesterday, because yesterday really, that was an emotional roller coaster. And when the news came out that the Yankees got Judge, first John Morosi reported it, then Ken Rosenthal seconded it and basically was like, Morosi got it first, but yes, this is actually real, because a lot of people weren't believing it was real. You know, especially now on Twitter with people imitating other people. It's even easier for people to imitate other people now that you can buy a verified check through Twitter Blue. So I can understand why people were nervous about the news when it came out that it may not be real. Again, because of yesterday. All they were saying was, oh, it looks like Judge is going to the Giants. It's going that way. Giants players are talking about it. And I think there was a report last night that an agent with a client who's close to Judge was saying the Judge was leaning that way. And I understand why Yankee fans were going a little crazy yesterday. It's totally understandable that some Yankee fans were going crazy yesterday. But the other thing that cracked me up was, of course, you had fans of other teams who were gloating about this. and joking about how horrible it's going to be for Yankee fans if the Yankees lose Judge. I have a Met fan friend who was joking about, and I spoke about this on a podcast, how the 153rd Street Yankee Stadium station at Metro North is full of Aaron Judge. His Pepsi ads are literally all over that station. And she joked yesterday, wow, this is going to be quite a job for them to take all this down. Well, they're not. They're not. It's staying up because Aaron Judge is staying in New York. I apologize to Brian Cashman for saying on Twitter that I hope he steps on Legos for the rest of his life barefoot. Brian, I was just a little angry yesterday because, as I said, everything was pointing toward the Giants and it felt like the Yankees were going to blow this. They did not. Now, I'm still struck by the Padres being a team that were in on Judge. I expected the third team to be the Dodgers because there were reports that Dave Roberts was hinting toward the Dodgers wanting Judge to play outfield. Cody Bellinger went to, where'd he go? Philly, right? And I wouldn't have been surprised if the Dodgers were the ones to do it because the Dodgers like spending money, but the Padres coming out of nowhere. Good for you, San Diego Padres. So if you're just joining us live, hi. This is my first live show, and it's very nerve-wracking, and I don't like it. So Cashman said on Monday about Judge, we'd love to have our player back. We would love to continue to call him our player every step of the way as he follows what looks like, as long as nothing happens, a career path that will lead him to Cooperstown. I would like him to be in pinstripes every step of the way. We all did, and now he will. So thank you, Hal. Thank you, Cashman, for not blowing this. Again, the deal is 9 years, $360 million. I don't know how it's broken down, but that's a lot of money. But considering Trey Turner got 11 years, $300 million, this isn't a surprising number. I know some people were thinking maybe that Judge could get $400 million. I think if he were younger than 30, that could have been a possibility. But the whole him turning 31 in April thing makes it so that wasn't the case. And just to recap, Judge got his first MVP this season while hitting .311, .425, .686 with 131 runs batted in and those 62 home runs that he seemed to hit when he got mad that the Yankees put out his contract info. Yes, I'm looking at the comments. Yes, it started with arson Judge. That's really funny. And I said in the beginning of the show, and if you weren't here for the beginning of the show, I believe RotoWear made an arson Judge t-shirt. So I highly recommend RotoWear shirts. I have the That's Baseball Susan shirt. They're all very soft. So go get your arson Judge t-shirts because now we can wear them as jokes. It's not a scary thing anymore because he's back with the Yankees. And everything is good. Everything is wonderful. Now, in other news, Jameson Taillon agreed to a 4-year, $68 million deal with the Cubs. Good for him. That's a good payday for Jameson Taillon. And, you know, he did everything he could to help the Yankees get into the playoffs in 2021, including pitching on a bum ankle. So I'm very happy for him getting his payday, and I hope he does well with the Cubs. The Yankees also signed Tommy Kahnle to a 2-year deal, I believe $15 million, and Tommy Tight Pants is back with the Yankees, which is very exciting. He pitched with the Dodgers very briefly in 2022, but when he did well, and it's always good to have another arm in the bullpen, and he knows what it's like to pitch for the Yankees, and he's kind of crazy, and it's fun to watch him, and yeah, so the Yankees are doing things. As I said, Judge was the first piece that needed to be done, the first domino, if you will. And now, hopefully, a bunch of dominoes will fall. And I know the Yankees are tied to Carlos Rodon. That would be a good pickup. That would be a very good pickup. Now, speaking of other Carloses, actually, we'll talk about 2 other Carloses. Carlos Baerga had the Justin Verlander news on his Instagram page before Verlander to the Mets was actually announced. He also posted yesterday that the Giants were probably going to sign Judge and Carlos Correa, that that's what they were looking to do. Thankfully, that did not happen, and he was wrong about that. Yes. Hola, Perito. Thank you for commenting. Yes, Hicks and Donaldson do need to go somewhere. Will they go somewhere? Will someone pick them up? That's a tough one. That's a tough one, especially Donaldson. Because I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The shocking thing for me was that he stayed healthy. But the other shocking thing to me was that his defense was so much better than his offense. I don't know how that happens, but his defense at his advanced age, his advanced baseball age of 37 years old, was amazing. But he could not hit water if he fell out of a boat. And I don't understand how that even happened, but here we are. So in a moment, we'll continue discussing this and we'll continue gloating about this because we can. Now we can. We can gloat about this after the day we had yesterday. But first, at Locked On Yankees, we believe home should be where you and your family feel safest over the holidays. So this season, give yourself and your family the gift of peace and protection with the #1 rated home security system, Simply Safe. Right now, Simply Safe is offering Locked On Yankees listeners 40% off a new security system. Don't put this off. Simply Safe was named the best home security system of 2022 by U.S. News and World Report, and it was for the 3rd year in a row. So in an emergency, 24/7 professional monitoring agents use Fast Protect technology, which is exclusively from Simply Safe. They capture critical evidence and they verify that the threat is real so you can get higher priority first responder response. So like if a raccoon is walking by your house, they're not going to let the police know about that. But Simply Safe is whole home security. There's sensors for every room, window, and door. You have HD security cameras for inside and out. And hazard detectors that detect fires, floods, and other threats to your home. So with the top-rated Simply Safe app, you can stay in control of that system, whether you're home or maybe on a vacation. You can arm or disarm, unlock for a guest, access your cameras, or adjust system settings anytime, anywhere. So don't miss your chance to save big on Locked On Yankees' favorite security system. Get 40% off any new system at simplysafe.com/LockedOnMLB today. That's simplysafe.com/LockedOnMLB. There's no safe like Simply Safe. Yes, Al, juiced balls are back. Now, I want to talk about that, but not today, not on this live edition, because I really need to read the article. But there was a report that there were 3 different balls used in MLB in 2022. And it seems the Yankees got a bunch of juiced balls. And I'm assuming because of the way it was broken down, the Yankees got a lot of juiced balls in August and September when Aaron Judge was inching towards 60 home runs. And why is MLB doing this? I don't understand why they keep doing this. They keep saying they're not going to mess with the balls, and then it turns out that they are messing with the balls. And not only that, they were threatening players and saying that they shouldn't give anyone the balls to show them that they're different. So this is a whole thing. We'll talk about this on the next episode because, as I said, I want to read the article completely and thoroughly so I understand everything that's happening. But the gist was the Yankees got a big bunch of juiced balls all toward the end of the season at Yankee Stadium. Let's make this clear. It was happening at Yankee Stadium, but it also was proven that the playoffs had a bunch of juiced balls as well. So it's not just the Yankees that were helped by juiced balls, people, and they weren't helped by the juiced balls in the playoffs, obviously. So, yeah. I agree, Locked On MLB prospects. Huge signing with Aaron Judge coming back, if that is true. And yes, I would like for Oswaldo Cabrera to continue to play the outfield as well. I just want him to be in left. I want Judge to be in right. And I want Harrison Bader in center field. That would be a great combo of players. Oswaldo Cabrera was a surprise. He was a kid that wasn't as heralded as Oswald Peraza or an Anthony Volpe. Those were the 2 names you heard throughout the season, obviously, because they were the two guys the Yankees held on to in order to not get Carlos Correa and pick up Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and Josh Donaldson. And his enthusiasm, Oswaldo Cabrera, and just, yeah, I hope he has a successful 2023. He got his feet wet in 2022. He did a great job. And yes, the outfield assists were a very nice, pleasant surprise. And he did well wherever the Yankees put him. So yes, I'm hoping that 2023 is good for him. My thoughts on Benintendi. I wouldn't mind getting Benintendi back. The Yankees need a left-handed bat. And no, he's not going to crush the ball every time, but if he hits around 300, plus, as I said on other shows, with the shift restrictions, you can see some guys who normally get their balls swallowed up by the shift. You'll see them on base more. So, you could see averages go up a little bit for some of these guys. But the Yankees need another left-handed bat. They do. And with Judge signing this deal, that's done. We don't have to worry about that anymore. I said that I wanted it done before Christmas. It's done before December 10th. Thank you, baseball gods. Thank you, Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner, for getting this done this early. So now we don't have to stress out, because I spoke about this on the show the other day. The Mark Teixeira thing happened 2 days before Christmas, and I said how I did not want to wait until 2 days before Christmas for Aaron Judge to do anything. So thank goodness the winter meetings happened. This happened during the winter meetings, and yes, Yankee fans are very excited. I'm very excited. Yes, Chris Lee, let's go. Let's go. Again, get the Arson Judge t-shirt on RotoWear if you can, now that it's a joke and not anything scary. So let me know in the comments. You're all here. Tell me in the chat, how are you feeling this morning? And how did you find out? Because I was already up. I woke up early this morning, and I didn't see the tweet on Twitter. My friend posted it in our Slack group. And as I said, with the way Twitter has been lately, it's hard to decipher between real and fake accounts now, because you can buy, or at least up until a certain point, you could buy your check mark, and people could create accounts however they wanted to. And I really wasn't sure if things were real, and I double and triple checked it. And then when I saw more legit baseball writers confirming the news, I realized it was real. You're welcome, Storm Chaser. Yes, my first live show. Let me know if you guys want me to do these more. I was very afraid to do this, and I've always been afraid to do this, but this is actually really fun. Yeah, it could be arson. Yeah. The comment says Judge contract could be arson Judge toward the latter years. Yes, it most certainly can, but they're really paying for the front end of the deal, which is how most of those deals look. Now, I want to see if I'm here on my computer. I would like to see if it's broken down at all, but I don't think that's going to happen until later in the day, where they tell us exactly how the contract is broken down per year. But 9 years, $360 million is a nice payday. And I know I joked about this a couple of weeks ago when I talked about Judge and his wife doing a live Peloton class. Why would you go to San Francisco? They don't have Peloton studios there. They're only in New York and London, and we don't have a London team yet. So, of course, Aaron Judge was going to stay in New York. Come on. There was no way he was going anywhere else. So this is a happy day, Yankee fans. And again, they're not done. They have work to do. They have a starter to get. They have left-handed bats to get. And just celebrate this. Celebrate this. This is a good day. So I'd like to thank you for tuning in for this emergency Celebrating Aaron Judge podcast. I appreciate all the people who are in here right now. And I'm going to record another show later where I'm not freaking out. And yeah, this will be good. So that's it for this episode of Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Remember, you can listen to the show on every podcasting platform available. You can watch and subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up button, comment, And click the bell so you know when our videos go live. And thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today, especially today, because it's a great day. For your second listen, check out Locked On Sports today. From the games that matter the most to the biggest stories in sports, go beyond the scoreboard and behind the scenes with local experts and insights only Locked On can provide. Locked On Sports today, available on this app, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. One more thing. If you can be so kind, please rate the podcast and spread the word about this podcast to your fellow Yankee fans. Let them know about YouTube. Let them know about the audio version. We would really appreciate it. So enjoy your Wednesday. Thank you for chatting with me, and I will